Pinpointing in organizational behavior management involves clearly defining a behavior in observable and measurable terms. Pinpointing behaviors helps clarify the behaviors expected for completing tasks and goals. In other subspecialties of ABA, we use operational definitions of behaviors to identify specific actions, either discrete behaviors or groups of related or sequence behaviors. In OBM, the process is very similar in that writing a pinpoint is much like writing an operational definition for a behavior. In OBM, behavior analysts are often helping organizational leaders to define and describe what they mean by certain performance expectations or job task assignments. Pinpointing is a way to clearly communicate what is expected to be successful. In many organizations, terms are used to describe expectations that are vague, can be interpreted differently by different people, or vary by role. The same terms or general task descriptions can mean different things in different organizations. Pinpointing, then, can be very useful in defining expectations such as good communication, time management, collaboration, positive feedback, and customer service, as well as many others. Pinpoints frequently describe a series or sequence of key behaviors associated with performance or that lead to defined desired results. When writing a pinpoint, it can be helpful to break it down into between 2 and 6 of the key smaller component behaviors that make up the desired behavior. Each of the component behaviors needs to be written in observable, measurable, and objective terms. Similar to when we write operational definitions, it can be useful to include examples and non-examples of the behaviors within our pinpoints. The book OBM Applied, Volume 1, provides the example of an OBM specialist working with a customer service representative who is expected to be customer-focused. What does being customer-focused actually mean? The OBM specialist was able to pinpoint the speed of greeting the customer and question asking as key customer-focused behaviors. I want to walk you through a simple procedure that you can use to develop and document a performance pinpoint. So I'm going to use the example from OBM Applied that I mentioned before with the task of customer-focused communication. So the pinpoint, which includes my 2 to 6 component behaviors that are necessary for this task, the pinpoint statement that I've written in objectable terms that's observable and measurable, says, providing the customer with positive, timely, appropriate greeting and asking at least one appropriate shopping question within 2 minutes of their arrival in the store. Example, saying welcome as someone enters the store and asking, can I help you find a specific size or color within 2 minutes of their arrival. Another example, saying, thank you for coming in as someone enters the store and asking, have you heard about our current sale within 2 minutes of their arrival. Then I'm going to list each component behavior and answer the following. So the first component behavior is positive, timely greeting. And I'm going to have a training list for suggestions because there's a lot of different ways I could say it. You could say welcome and thank you for coming in. That would qualify as appropriate here. So I'm going to include that list and probably staple it to my documentation. Then I'm going to answer, is it written in objective terms? Yes. Is it observable? Yes. Is it measurable? Yes. So my second part of this, my second component, is asking appropriate shopping questions. And I'm going to have a training list of suggestions for those as well. There's a number of appropriate questions like, have you heard about our current sale? Or can I help you find a specific size or color? Is it written in objective terms? Yes. Is it observable? Yes. Is it measurable? Yes. I am going to include here on my worksheet some non-examples of the pinpoint. So one non-example might be saying, hold on, I'll be right with you when someone walks in the store instead of welcome or thank you for coming in. Another example might be asking a question like, what size are you of the customer instead of, can I help you find a specific size? So I'm going to have those examples and non-examples, and I'm going to document that I've written this out. And this is a way for me to develop and document a performance pinpoint for customer-focused communication. Pinpointing provides clarity for the person expected to perform the behaviors as well as for the supervisors or other individuals assessing the level of performance. Well-written pinpoints are useful in identifying whether someone already has certain skills or behaviors in their repertoire, whether they require training in certain skills, as well as in performance measurement. For supervised fieldwork, identify 1 or 2 tasks within an organization where you provide behavior analytic services or organizational behavior management services. Since pinpointing is valuable for all organizations, this might be a place where you have a paid or volunteered position. It might be a school, business, clinic, community group, or other organization where multiple individuals are expected to meet a level of performance, often employees or volunteers, with specific roles or jobs. Then identify 1 or 2 tasks or job responsibilities expected for good performance by 1 or more individuals within the organization that could benefit from clear pinpointing. Then complete the performance pinpoint worksheet for tasks that you choose. For example, you might choose supervision, customer service, safety protocols, or good communication with parents. Send me your completed worksheet for feedback or discussion during a supervision meeting.